Okay, well, we're back. This is episode 3.
We're on a roll.
We're on a roll. We do 2 a month. That means we might actually get 24 done in a year. But then again, it depends on, I don't know where Christmas lands this year. You know, today is actually my wife's birthday. But she was okay with this. It's not like we were doing anything special. She actually wound up getting sick last night enough right before midnight that she was like queasy sick, almost like I'm going to throw up sick. I'm dizzy sick. And I didn't know about it until this morning. And I was like, why didn't you wake me up? I'd have gone and got you a Sprite or a charcoal or something. And she's like, well, you were sleeping so good. I'm like, so? But anyway, she finally caught up with me. We're 9 months apart, so she finally caught up with me. And now she's making the joke that in January, in a lot of the establishments around here, I'll finally qualify for senior discounts at 55. Not all of them, but there are some restaurants that'll do senior discounts at 55. You know, a couple of percentage off.
I got a friend who really wears his veteran status on his sleeve, and he will ask quite quickly for a veteran's discount. And on Veterans Day, he will come and pick me up so we can tour the restaurants and get the veteran meals.
Nice.
I'm not that kind of guy.
No, but you're a veteran, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm absolutely a veteran.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
You just don't want to use that.
I don't want that special. I mean, I got the VA loan for the house. That I'll take, but
yeah,
it feels petty. But it is free food.
Hey, I'm not going to turn down free food as long as it's free good food.
And usually he drives. So
well, there you go. Well, that works. Well, today is October the 9th, and of course, we're sitting here. Fortunately for us, we're not staring in the face of another hurricane, but down south, they are, unfortunately.
Very much so.
We're only a few hours, I think, away from it supposedly making landfall.
Oh, it's windy in Sarasota.
Is it?
According to that map, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that reminds me of a story. So right before Helene came in, this was on a Tuesday. So quick backstory. Tyler had gotten a shelving unit. And so he was, he's back in Seattle. And so he was putting the shelving unit together. And one of the things that it said that you would need was a hammer. He did not have a hammer. He made do, anything can be a hammer if you make it.
You're careful enough.
Yeah. Well, when they were kids, we have a weird family, but when they were kids, they all got their own hammers. Don't ask this. Believe it or not, they love stuff like this, especially the boys, because it was like building, Maybe not Oriana so much, but the boys. Lee found Tyler's hammer. So she told me, she said, I want to send this to him, but I don't want him to know that he's going to get it. And I was like, okay. So that was Tuesday. So I mailed it, and Helene comes in Thursday night, Friday morning that week. Well, the hammer was supposed to have been delivered on the 30th, which was the following Monday.
Right.
It got held up in Sarasota.
Got to take a step back to take a step forward.
If I had known that there was a damn hurricane that was about to screw everything up, I probably would have waited, because he finally got it Monday of this, I think this past Monday, I believe. He finally got it. But it stayed in Florida for like 3 days.
Well, I bet.
But when I saw Sarasota today, because the cone of uncertainty had moved a little bit, and we were talking about it at lunch, and I saw that, and I just started laughing. I went, I know where that's at. That's where the hammer was hanging out for a while.
I don't understand why it would go to Sarasota first, or in between here and there.
I don't either, because it hit Jacksonville first. Then it wound up in Wyber. It's Yber, place I've never heard of in Florida. Then it left there and went to Sarasota. When it finally left Sarasota is when it took its long journey all the way to Seattle, Washington. It's so weird how the mail gets routed around here, I
think that's probably anywhere. I mean,
well, if I try to send you a letter, this is not the way it used to be years and years ago when I lived in Fitzgerald. if I sent someone a letter in Fitzgerald, it never left Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
If I send you a letter, the fucking thing goes to Albany.
Oh, I get mail from clients here in Tifton. They probably put it in the box at the post office to send it to me.
Yeah.
It goes to Jacksonville, gets stamped, goes through the
That's right.
sorter.
It used to go to Albany.
Back to Tifton.
Yeah.
And back to the post office, and they put it in my P.O. box.
That makes no
It
sense.
literally comes back to the same building and just goes about 30 feet away from where it was dropped off.
I think that's right. It used to go to Albany, and then they changed that up, and now
Everything
it's
goes
like
through
Jacksonville for some reason. I don't get it. Anyway, well, if you haven't figured out, that's Ben over there. I'm Donovan, and we're here to do a tech podcast. A podcast for the everyday person, at least we think. So what's been going on with you for the last 2 weeks?
Cleaning up after the hurricane, like I think most everybody has.
Yep. I spent a whole day Saturday doing that this past Saturday.
All we had to do was pick up a few limbs in the yard, but out back we've got probably 20 mature trees, either snapped or uprooted.
Ooh.
It's a huge game of pickup sticks.
Are they still down?
Yeah. They didn't come back up.
I mean, you hadn't cleaned them up yet.
No, I can't get the tractor back there because it's too wet. I'm going to just have to build a bridge or something out there and pick everything up. Or just wait. It's in nobody's way.
You started playing with machine learning?
Yeah.
You said, so the note here said, discovered using hardware with no GPUs provides zero benefit.
Yeah.
You want to explain?
Running machine learning models, it's a ton of math.
Yeah.
And in most cases, it's a huge pile of data. So being able to run all of that through GPUs and, super fast CUDA cores and whatnot, I still don't know exactly how all that works. But if you're doing it with CPUs only, it just takes a while. And I almost forget what I was doing by the time this thing finishes. And it's a really slow iteration. But yeah, I'm looking at ways to start collecting log data from every single thing on a network and push that through a single source, get it sorted out, and start trying to run it through a machine learning model.
Yeah. I remember you talked about that, I think, in the last episode. So,
yeah, it was just an idea. And so far I haven't spent any money. So
here you are trying to figure out how to use it to collect and aggregate and analyze data. And I just use it to summarize articles and write descriptions for me.
Yeah, you're just using an interface to a model that's ready. I mean, it's loaded, it's trained, it's tuned. But I can't feed customers logs into that.
I mean, you can get your own chat GPT.
Yeah, I could use the API to do some stuff.
Yeah.
And that might be cheaper than trying to buy my own hardware. But I really want to see, because it's just log data and system information, things like that. It's not, rendering video and trying to do natural language. And so I really don't know how much processing I'll need. I might not need to get huge GPUs and whatnot. So,
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because the more I read, I've looked into building one, which GPUs and blah, blah, blah. And somebody piped up and said, you could do this and build this, multi-GPU machine and keep it on and pay to power it and pay the extra AC to cool the room.
Keep it cool, yeah.
Or you could pay
OpenAI or somebody.
I'd like $1 for millions of tokens to run it in there. And then when you don't need it, you don't pay. So yeah. You can build a whole model and train it for $1,000. And then I don't have to keep the machines on. I could just run what I need locally, but have the OpenAI do the heavy lifting.
I don't know what model, back-end service, whatever that they're actually using, but the podcast hosting company that I use, Captivate.fm, 2 weeks ago, they had this grand announcement. And what it is they have now integrated, they call it Spark AI. And they've integrated it into the dashboard so that you drop your audio in there of your finished podcast and you tell it generate, and it'll go through and it'll generate the transcript. And then it'll take the transcript and use LLM to come up with like 5 to 7 different titles based on what was in the episode. It'll do it'll do an overall summary, and then it'll give you like 2 or 3 extended summaries, so you can pick and choose which one you like. It'll go through and automatically create chapter points and name them for you based on all of this information. They have this thing called, I want to say it's called AIME. Basically, it's a dynamic ad insertion, but they don't sell ads. It's a system where you can insert your own ads. So you upload like, a sponsorship for NordVPN or whatever. I hate those things. I personally use PIA. But it will even go through and try to figure out and give you cue points. Like I tested it today on my Call Me Donovan podcast that I did this morning. And it gave me 2 cue points. It said, these 2 locations would be good for you to put in an ad about X, because I was talking about something. And it was like, if you've got an ad, this would be a good place to put it if it covered this. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And the way they charge for this, see, I pay $19 a month to host basically as many podcasts as I want. The way they charge for it is they said the heavy lifting in all of this was the transcription. That everything after the transcription was done was really no compute power. And I'm like, okay. So you basically pay for the transcription. So it's $1 an hour, basically. And I think it's a minimum of $5 a month. So I paid it. I said, yeah, charge me $5. And I tested it. And I was like, this will actually increase my workflow exponentially. Because right now what I've been doing, and I've talked about this before, I've got OpenAI's Whisper on my Mac Mini.
Right.
And so, I would do the podcast, get it in the final product, and then I would drop it and run these scripts that would convert it into the proper audio file, and then run Whisper against it. Then get that SRT file, upload it, and depending on how long it was, actually do a text file, and then take and copy and paste that text file in the Chat GPT and say, summarize this. So there were a lot of steps.
Yeah.
Now I press a fucking button and Captivate and just go, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I'll take that one, but I'll alter it a little bit, because that's the thing is you're not locked in. You can take their examples, but then you can still edit them. It's like, add this to my show notes, add that to my show notes, do this and that. It'll pick up, like the episode I did this morning, I talked about, I've got this new Holly, I think it's Holly Lake. Anyway, lapel mics. I really like them. Learned about them from watching MKBHD, Marcus Brownlee. Because I mentioned him and them in the AI stuff, it said, hey, these 2 companies were mentioned. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So it's infecting everything.
It's increased my workflow. It's allowed me to satisfy my curiosity so much quicker. Well, yesterday I was looking at the traffic cameras on Georgia 511 and Florida 511, and I thought, this is how they get the streams on the Weather Channel when they show you the traffic.
Yeah.
So there's an API, but can I just pull that feed that I see on that webpage?
I thought the same thing.
So I grabbed the URL of the feed from the camera's playlist or something like that, and I told ChatGPT, I was like, I want a web page that displays these camera feeds with URLs like this, and it just spit out I didn't have to remember all those syntax and how to embed a video feed. And
it spit out all the HTML and everything for you.
And it's like, and then it said, if you want to add more of these videos, just add more of this, this unit.
But did it work?
No, because I need an API key. But it did. I pulled the page up locally, and it had the video box, and it just was spinning because the video wouldn't load, but it was there, and it was a little embedded HTML5 player.
That's actually pretty cool. I mean, all of that, the fact that you could get ChatGPT to do that, but that made me think. I had this idea, and of course, I don't think I could get anybody on board, but if we could go around to various businesses and get them to okay us to put cameras up around, say, like Tifton in certain central key areas, I've always wanted to have something like that.
Too many domains. I don't want another
Dude, you should see my Cloudflare login of all of the domains that I manage. There's at least, I think there's 20 or 25 in there.
Well, on top of that, I'm at like 3 registrars, and I haven't bothered to consolidate.
I still have to use Namecheap because there's certain domains that certain TLDs that Cloudflare still can't do. Like, now I can't think of one.
Is IO one of them?
Actually, I don't know. .fm is definitely not one that they can do. But then again, .fm is expensive. It's about $80 a year.
Really?
Yeah. Remember back, you probably don't, but I used to have slant.fm years ago. Oliver actually registered that for me. I made it. I was talking. This is back when on Friday nights we'd all get in Discord and we just, shoot the shit and what have you, have a pretty good time. I was drunk most of the time, but I made the comment that I was thinking about starting up a new podcast production company, and I had this idea that I wanted to call it Slant, SLANT. What's the slant on this? What's the slant on that? And I said, I like the .fm. There's Relay.fm. It's a very popular podcast company. And the next thing I know, he sends me the credentials, and he's like, here you go. And he bought Slant.fm for the first year for me. And at that time, you had to go through a registrar in the UK to do it. But now Namecheap will do it. But yeah, they're about $80 to $90, somewhere in there. Yeah.
My .tech domain is $40. I think that's the most expensive one I have.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to have a narrow.tv. .tv cost me like $24, $25. But I don't do, the only specialty one I have now is I have southtech.network. And that I try to use that as I've got southtechnetworks.com, but then southtech.network, when I found I could get it, I got it too. And so I have all the emails. I've got aliases and all this other crap. You know how that works. So
yeah, I've got what did I just say?
.tech.
Yeah, Tifton.tech and techworks.cloud, or it's TWKS.cloud.
And that made sense.
And then Ben on beer.
You still have that?
It's still registered, yeah.
You still pay for it?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever given up a domain. No, I did back in 2004. I let techpickle.org go because there was a guy in Adelaide, Australia.
Oh, wow.
He's got techpickle.com.au and then maybe techpickle.com. And he asked, he's like, are you using that? I was like, yeah. He's like, how much you want? I was like, I don't know, just make an offer. And he never did. And then it came time to renew it. I was like, let it go. So I've let it go and told him, I was like, hey, I just let it expire. You can have it. And
did he get it?
He's like, I think so. His name is Matt Tiley. I don't know how I remember that from 20 years ago.
So Matt, if you're listening, reach out. I'm letting one lapse this time around. Before I created Tifton Media Works, about a year ago, I created southtech.media. So Southtech Media. So I registered southtech.media, and it's with Namecheap, and it's coming up for renewal. And I turned off the auto renew. I'm like, I don't need that. I've got this other one's a bona fide LLC. The other one was just a DBA coming off of the main thing. So, but yeah, I've had to. It's hard. It's hard to let domains go because you look at it and your brain is like, but I might. might do something with this in the future.
Right.
I might. And then 5 years later, you're still going, I might do something with this. And you don't.
I've got one that I've registered, I don't know, very early, my wife's name.com.
Mm-hmm.
And when my daughter was born, I registered her first middle name.com. And same with my son, his first, his middle.com. They don't do anything. But earlier this year, I was offered money to sell my wife's name.com. And
did you mention this to her?
Oh yeah. She wanted a front door. She wanted a new front door. And I was like, but they offered to, they just came out and said, would you take $500? And I was like, no. And I think I ignored the first. He's like, "Oh, would you willing to sell?" And then I ignored it, and they came back. We just take $500. I was like, "No." I was like, "I'll sell it, but not at that price."
Yeah, the door costs more than that.
If somebody comes to me and wants that domain for whatever reason,
yeah,
they want something.
Yeah,
so
there's a need on their part, which means the price just goes up.
And then. And in a couple of weeks, the offer is $1,000. I was like, what's this going to be for? Because this is a broker contacting me.
Mm-hmm.
So what's this going to be for? So I just kind of go look. I Google her name.
Mm-hmm.
I find a couple. There's one in Jacksonville, oddly enough. And she's in like a financial consultant, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a little backstory. Out of the last year sometime, my wife got an email, said, "Welcome to OnlyFans." And she's like, "What?" And then, I don't know, within a week or a few weeks or a month, she got another email, and some viewer had sent her a gift certificate to some lingerie place. So my wife has this in her email because somebody put her email in a profile somewhere.
Did y'all go look at the lingerie?
Yeah, apparently $300 was not enough to get much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't even know where it was. But I was like, and then, the following year or earlier this year, somebody's offering to buy the domain. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, what's going on here?
What's the intention here? And then it took a few days for the broker to come back and say it'll be used, for financial advice. It was related to financials. I was like, okay, it's her in Jacksonville. So I was like, I finally responded as to, this domain means a lot, and I want to make sure that it does not reflect poorly on my wife. And because of the sentimental value, I will sell it for $5,000, and it's crickets. No. Something. Okay.
Yeah.
It's mine. Hey. The auto renew switch, it will forever be on.
Yeah. Yeah. I did something very similar to what you did. I registered all the kids' names, first and last name. I don't think I registered Lee's first and last name because she didn't really care. Or I may have at the time. I don't know. This was several years ago, like easily 20 years ago. And, of course, I still have DonovanAdkisson.com. That is the oldest domain that I actually own. And it's gone from being my personal website to being a podcast website to, honestly, I don't even know where it goes now. I think I have a forward on it. Donovan Adkisson. Where do you go? Oh, it goes to my link tree. That's right. I did something smart. It actually goes to my link tree where it's got Call Me Donovan, Radio Tiff, South Tech Network Solutions, LLC, Tifton Talks, and Tifton Media Works. And then it has my various socials down on below that.
I should have OpenAI create something like that for me and then redirect all of my park domains there.
Yeah,
Not that it's going to do any good.
Well, I mean, Linktree is free. There is a paid tier, but, anyway. Okay, well, initially I put in here that I had 2 PSUs go out on 2 different PCs. As of today, I've had 3 PSUs go out. I got a call today from a client, and they were like, "We got an emergency." I'm like, "Okay, what do you got?" Well, the computer over, and I'm not going to say where it's at, but it's one of two computers on this particular counter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, there was a sound like a gunshot went off. And I was like, really? And it's like, yeah. And now the computer won't come on. It's like, okay. Y'all check the power, the power strip, everything. Yeah, everything, all that. Monitors come on, computer won't come on. I'm like, I think I know what this probably is. Now, I can honestly say this is the first time I've had a PSU blow in a computer like that.
One of the capacitors.
I don't really know. It's a Dale, so it's it's that power supply right there. It's these 240.
Oh,
but that's an older one that's got the wider power connector for the main power.
Mm-hmm.
The newer ones have the 8 and then the 4.
Yeah.
So I've got these. As I would decommission these older PCs, I'd snatch these power supplies out and throw them, up under here. And I'm pointing, great audio. But for this particular reason. So I grabbed all of them up and I looked up what that model, what that power supply is supposed to be. So I get there and I'm like, okay, it's not the one that I thought it was going to be. But I did have one that had the right connectors, but it's the wrong form factor. So I went ahead and I connected everything in, plugged it in, it powered up. I went, yep, blown power supply. So I had to Frankenstein this thing. And I told him, I said, look, it's going to run, but I've got to Frankenstein it until I can get a replacement power supply, which won't be in until the 15th. And they're like, we don't care as long as it works. So you see, as that one's a slender one, this one is shorter but taller. So the case, the side of the case is just kind of laying there. It's sitting on top of it with the power connectors down and everything, and it works.
Yeah.
I've had two other, and it's weird. All three of these machines were Dells, and I had another one that just died, and then I had a newer computer that's got like a i7 5th gen or 6th gen in it, 32 gigs of RAM. Machine was bought, I think, in like 2019 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And the guy, he texted me and he was like, "Keep in mind, this is at a body shop." And he said, every time the air compressor goes on, the computer shuts off. I'm like, what? I said, this thing is hooked through the UPS, right? He's like, yeah. And he's like, but every time the compressor kicks on, computer goes off. Okay. So I go through, I don't think I told this story last time. I think this has happened in the last 2 weeks. So I go through it. I'm like, okay, you need to check the voltage. Check the voltage coming out of the wall. See it. Are we seeing a voltage drop? Are we seeing a surge? What is it? Also suggested that they check the power coming out of the UPS, because you and I both know that there's an upper and a lower threshold on those UPSs, so that it will let the voltage float down to a certain point before it's like, oh shit, I need to go on battery.
Yeah.
Apparently, after Helene weirdness, this PSU, the best way I can describe it is it was weak.
Sensitive.
It was very sensitive, because as soon as we're going to presume a voltage drop, and the compressor in this body shop was causing just enough of a voltage drop that the PSU would go, ding, I'm off. And so I basically had to do the same thing with that one that day. I didn't have one that would actually fit in the case. It almost would. So I was like, we're going to have to keep the side off. And he was like, I don't care as long as it, I can work. And I said, well, it's going to be about a week. So I fixed that one yesterday. I fixed the other one yesterday. And then I had that one today that is temporarily fixed. So I've had this run on power supplies after this fucking hurricane.
Yeah, that's weird. And for them to just show up 2 weeks after the storm.
Yeah, I was like, I've never seen this before.
Well, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
The only thing I've had since the hurricane was somebody complains their machine is slow. I was like, well, yeah, software is heavy now. So I've just picked it up. It's in the truck. We're going to migrate it to a solid state drive and add 8 more gigs of RAM.
That's what I do too. I've as I've tried to increase the longevity of these older machines, now I've had to come to the realization that if the machine is like circa 2014 or 2015, I'm probably going to give up.
Yeah.
But that is one of the first things I do is I look at it and I'm like, you still have a spindle drive in it? Yes. Okay, we're going to SSD. And, of course, I use Tyler's software to image it and restore it and all this other kind of stuff. And that usually gets me a few more years. Sometimes I put more RAM in it, but if they've got at least 8 gigs in it, I leave it. Now, if it's 4, yeah, I try to put more RAM in it. But if it's 8, I normally don't double it because for the workloads for most of my clients that I'm having to do this for, they don't need the extra memory.
Yeah.
What they need is the faster access to the drive.
Yeah, just to open programs and access files quicker.
Yeah.
This one here is for photography. So it's just a lot of simple image editing. So it's tearing up 8 gigs right now.
Ooh, yeah.
And mostly because it's having to swap on that spindle drive. So
that'll help.
Yeah, so just the SSD will help, but I happen to have plenty of new memory on hand. So.
DDR4, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting harder and harder to get DDR3.
Well, if it's DDR3 machine, it's time to replace it.
It's time to replace it.
Yeah, because these are 2019 replacements. These were new in 2019. So pretty much anything older than that, I just tell them to replace it.
Yeah, and I think I've told you, but I've started buying these little mini PCs from like B-Link and places like that. I mean, for $350, I got a surveying client that I bought. I had him buy. I think it's got one terabyte of NVMe for the drive and 32 gigs of RAM, and it's a Ryzen 7, and this thing runs like a scalded cat. They come with Windows 11. I downgrade them to Windows 10 because Windows 10 just still runs better than Windows 11. I'm sorry, it just does. But but that's what I've gone with, and the reason why I started doing that is once I discovered the price point on these things, I was literally buying refurbished 6th and 7th gen i5 Dells for $200 or $225 or $250, depending on what the market was at the time. You toss in another $100, you got a brand new machine with a modern processor.
Yeah.
Because a 6th and 7th generation i5 is not a modern processor. It's just not. Will it work? Yes, it will. But, throw a little bit more into the pile here and you got this little thing that just fits on the back of a monitor. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I put one of those in the shelter. And it just runs the conference room thing.
Yeah.
So I 3D printed a case. So it's on the wall behind the TV.
Yeah.
That way they can reach the USB ports if they need to.
Well, the radio station, and of course I'm pointing over to my left. There's 2 monitors. It runs radiotiff.com. That is an N100 processor that's in that one. It only cost me like $150. And Tyler and I both, he got one, not the same model, but he got one. And he's like, I'm impressed with how efficient and fast even these little N100s are. It's not like back in the day of the Atom processors and, what was the name of that Intel processor? It started with a C. Celerons. No, these little bastards, they run. And I mean, everything I've thrown at this thing, now I haven't tried to stream video or anything like that, but I mean, it's literally running radio DJ software. It's running Voice Meter Potato. It's running the butt streaming application. Right now, I've got it running Audacity as a backup recording for what we're doing here, and it's not sweating at all. So it's amazing what we can get now for the price point that we can get.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if you still want something that's going to, play the latest Crysis or whatever at 250 frames per second, you still going to need a $1,300 graphics card.
Yeah. Well, I did find the most expensive graphics card, NVIDIA card at my distributor right now is $993. That's my cost.
Yeah.
So retail's probably like $1,050, something like that.
I don't know if Tyler mentioned it on our first episode or not, but when he built his machine a couple of years ago, and this was when the graphics cards were like just unbelievably high.
Yeah.
I think he spent like $1,500 on his just the card.
Can you imagine what kind of AI models could be built on all those GPUs that were sold during the mining process?
Oh, all the Bitcoin
mining craze, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably, GPUs are probably more expensive than they should be right now.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Everybody wants the H100, whatever that is.
And then, of course, you got Elon over there going, I need to buy everything that NVIDIA makes right now for his XAI.
They've installed quite the data center from what I have seen.
No,
I don't know what.
It's tainted because it's Musk.
Yeah, it's musky.
Mm-hmm. All right, how about some news? How about some articles? We're talking about processors. This one I thought would be interesting. So over at Tom's Hardware, you were done, right? We didn't have anything else?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Sorry. I didn't want to cut you off or anything. Linux takes 4.76 days to boot on an ancient Intel 4004 CPU. This CPU precedes the OS by 20 years. So we have a programmer, of course it's got to be Dmitry, just the name. Grinberg achieved a remarkable feat by booting Linux on an ancient Intel 4004 CPU, a processor from 1971. The boot process took 4.76 days, and even simple commands like listing directory contents took up to 16 hours to execute.
But you know what? Just imagining that 50-year-old processor has enough memory, enough cache to run Linux, that tells me that Linux is pretty damn efficient.
Okay, it gets better. He used an emulation of the MIPS R3000 processor to bridge the hardware and software gap, and through extensive optimization, he reduced the Linux kernel to 2.5 megabytes, cutting the boot time from its original 8.4 days to under 5. The project was more of an artistic experiment than a practical endeavor, showcasing Linux's flexibility and Grinberg's dedication. I would say, nay, that's insanity, not dedication, to pushing hardware limits. And despite the extreme delays in execution, the project worked, and Grinberg shared detailed schematics and potentially pre-built kits for others interested in recreating his little art experiment.
Can you imagine calling tech support and their first response was go, could you reboot it? It's like, all right, I'll call you next week.
Yeah, I'll call you next week. That is wild. This literally reminds me of something that Tyler would attempt. He would try something like this.
Yeah. Like, what does that processor look like? Like, how big? Like, what's the physical size of the?
Well, that's what it looks like.
The chip. Okay, so it's
all
right.
Yeah,
that seems like something you could, not that particular chip, but you could replicate that chip out of like vacuum tubes and whatnot. Like build an old school machine.
Yeah.
And perform, maybe not that quickly, but I bet you could make one to run Linux.
Could you virtualize it?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, virtualize the 4004 CPU from 1971.
Just so you can wait 8 days.
Just so you can wait 8 days for it to boot in the virtualized environment. Yes, exactly.
But you could overclock that thing. It wouldn't really care because it's just software-defined chip.
Yeah.
But could you imagine running the 4004 at 2 megahertz?
What does this thing even run at? Did it say? Hang on.
I don't know. Like 6 hertz probably.
Let's see. He booted the machine using the Linux prompt. Thankfully, via the magic of video editing, much of the waiting around, because there's a YouTube video of this, between commands gets very fast forward. An unedited version of the video running at 120 times real time exists, but takes over 1 hour and 40 minutes for completists.
Wait, didn't Mr. Beast put out a video of himself counting to 1 million?
I think it was one of his
live streamed
earlier videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine watching a live stream of this boot process?
I don't drink anymore, but I think I'd have to have a drink. I mean, come on.
Yeah, a drink and a few meals and a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And a podcast.
And a pod. Yeah. Yeah, we're in the middle of the of day 17. I was trying to find if it would tell me. Do I have to look this up? It does not tell me.
I was about to look it up.
All right. Intel 4004. Dun, 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 dun. So, looks like 1969, a Japanese company called Busicom, Busicom, made an order to Intel for the design of 12 special purpose integrated circuits, which would be used in a new line of programmable electronic calculators. Intel assigned the study of Busicom's design to Martian Edward Ted Hoff. After, you need your glasses?
No, I found it, though. I mean,
What is it?
740 kilohertz.
Kilohertz. Okay. Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I was like, wait, yeah, what?
It's only got 2,300 transistors.
Yeah.
60,000 operations per second. And that's the maximum frequency of 740 kilohertz. We can't even get to an M. No mega.
No turbo button.
No turbo button, nothing. Oh, man, those were the days.
It's 0.74 M.
God, that is so wild. Shortly after the release of the 4004 and 72, Intel introduced the 8008 CPU, which essentially was the 8-bit version of its predecessor. The 8008 was the first CPU that was supported by a high-level compiler, the PL/M. 2 years later, in 74, the Intel 8080 was introduced, retaining the 8-bit architecture, blah, blah, blah. Man, talk about going down memory lane. All right. Well, hats off to you, you mad bastard, for 4.7 days or 4.6 days or whatever. Yikes.
Well, at least he documented it.
Oh, yeah. Let's make kits. Yeah, I'm going to buy a kit so I can put it together and watch this thing take almost 5 days.
You can host a party and go, hey, guys, watch this.
Yeah. And,
Yeah. You live here now.
Raspberry Pi 5 powers the ultimate nostalgia machine to bring 1980s television to 2024. Okay, so...
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Hats off.
Shane Mason, also known as Wrong Dog Reckons, has created a nostalgia machine that emulates the 70s and 80s TV watching experience using modern technology powered by a Raspberry Pi 5. Inspired by his childhood in the Blue Ridge Mountains, where over-the-air TV signals were weak, Mason recreated an authentic retro TV setup using an actual 1986 RCA television. The system mimics period-accurate TV schedules, complete with commercials, holiday specials, and programming based on the time of day and season. The Raspberry Pi 5 plays back content from ripped VHS tapes and DVDs, while Python scripts generate weekly TV schedules using the Movie Pi library. Mason also built a retro user interface, and the project even includes a functional rotary antenna control box to switch channels, operated by a Raspberry Pi. Is it Pico or Pico? Pico, I guess.
I always called it Pico, yeah.
Okay. The meticulous build, housed in a cigar box with clean wiring, recreates the full experience of analog TV, providing a unique blend of nostalgia and modern tech. All the project details and code are available on Hackaday and GitHub. This is also at Tom's Hardware. Okay, so yes, I remember this. Having been born and raised in Podunk, Fitzgerald, Georgia, Ben Hill County, we only had access to 3 channels, and that was if the weather was good.
Yeah, we had, I don't know, maybe 10 channels in Albuquerque. Over there, we never had cable. We didn't have cable till we moved back to Georgia.
Well, we still don't have, I say we because I don't own that property anymore, but that property over there in Ben Hill County still does not have cable. We'll never have cable. It's got fiber internet. I'm taking a moment. Hang on. The mere fact that I moved away from Fitzgerald, Georgia to Tifton, Georgia, that had better prospects for broadband, and for the longest time was much better than what we had over there. And now you can get 2 gigabit fiber connection at the place that I sold over a year and a half ago. All right, I'm done.
What did you end up getting here?
Oh, I'm still on a standard cable modem, 500 by 50.
I thought they were gonna be able to switch you over.
There's some bureaucracy, I think. Yeah, there's some complications and some other nonsense and all of that. And then this little thing called Helene came through and basically...
well, now we got to go do this.
Yeah. So I'm fairly confident because I kept getting emails almost on a daily basis from True Vista about how they've restored X percentage of the system and all of that. And look, I'm not knocking them. I know shit was screwed up.
Yeah.
You know, power was, I get it. A lot of damage was done, but I want my fiber. All right. You know,
maybe after this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
After Milton leaves.
Yeah. I might get it sometime in 2025 if I'm lucky. But I remember this. Matter of fact, I used to work for an interconnect company, and not to be confused with an internet company, but it was a Colony Telephone in Fitzgerald, Georgia. It was owned by Joe Rogers. He was an old AT&T microwave tower maintainer. And so he bought the Radio Shack franchise over there in Fitzgerald, and he created a company around it called Colony Telephone. And one of the things, of course, one of the big things for Radio Shack, especially in the 80s and 90s, was TV antennas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we're talking, I forget what they were called, but they had their flagship antenna. It was huge.
Don't they call it an aerial?
Yeah, but it was like the something max or whatever. It was like $125 for the antenna. Oof. Just the antenna. Okay. Then you needed to put it up on a pole. All right. So the biggest or the tallest pole that Radio Shack actually sold, if I remember correctly, was a 36-footer. So we went to third parties and could get up to a 50-footer. So I remember we had this one customer. They were in a double-wide mobile home. And this was before you had DirecTV and Dish and Prime Star and all of that coming around.
Mm-hmm.
And so they wanted to be able to get as many channels as they possibly could out of the air. So we put up a 50-foot pole, and you have to guide these things, you know, down to central points. Every section had a ring, and it had these holes. And then you took these guy wires, which basically is just stranded metal.
Yeah.
And then you would raise it up, you would tighten it up a little, you'd raise it up a little bit more, and you tighten it up a little, because you had to keep it from swaying, because if it ever went one way or the other, the pole was
toast.
Have
to let it go.
You just have to let it go. It was bent, and you were starting over. And you put the amplifiers up there, you had the coax run up there, and the control leads for the motor and everything, so that you could rotate it. Yeah, I remember all of that. I did that.
We just had rabbit ears on the back of the TV. Because we lived in, it was probably 400,000 people in Albuquerque when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I got to watch He-Man in the afternoons, and what was it, Pee-wee's Playhouse on Saturday mornings, other cartoons.
Good old Pee-wee Herman, Paul Rubens. Yeah, it was funny because my grandmother lived in town and she had cable, but we lived out in the country, in the boonies, and we didn't, you know. But my dad was always big on the biggest antenna that he could get with the tallest pole that he could get at the time, and that rotator box, ka-tonk, 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 ka-tonk. And you like tuned to channel 13, which is out of Macon. And it's like, are we going to ride the skip tonight? If anybody knows anything about CB radio and ham, then you know exactly what I was talking about. But you're watching it and it's like, oh, wait, I'm seeing a picture. Oh, no, the picture goes away. So, yeah. But hey, that's cool. These people have too much time on their hands for their little pet
They
projects.
don't have enough other projects, is what it is.
I'm guessing that's true.
I wish I just had one.
Okay, this is something that, you know, I've heard over the years that something like this could potentially exist, but now I want it. Westinghouse's, I guess you pronounce this, Evinci micro-nuclear reactor for data centers delivers 5 megawatts of power for 8 years without refueling. Micro-reactors could power next-gen AI data centers. So, yeah, they've got this thing, It's a compact reactor which can be transported as a single unit, addresses the growing power demands of data centers fueled by AI's rise. Westinghouse is the first to submit safety designs for testing, and the Evinci microreactor could help reduce reliance on the aging electric grid. By using nuclear energy, the reactor allows data centers to operate in remote locations and sustain continuous power, making it a promising solution for the future of AI infrastructure. And keep in mind, this goes right along with the fact that Microsoft is planning on spinning up one of those reactors at 3 Mile Island to do this, expected to go online in 2028. But I heard several years ago, and I was like, yeah, this is fantasy. But it was John C. Dvorak on the No Agenda show, so I was like,
maybe.
But he was talking about having micro or mini nuclear reactors for the home. You know, that was actually something that could be plausible in a few years.
It sounds like something you'd see in popular science in the 60s.
Yeah.
Like, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I could,
I mean, if they can keep one safe on a battleship.
Yeah. I don't think I need 5 megawatts. I mean, make it smaller.
Yeah,
make it smaller. I've already figured out how many watts I need in this house. I mean, I've been going down the whole generator route. Boy, there's a lot to learn there.
Put one at the end of the street.
That's right. You could put one at the end of the street and power this entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't even think this entire neighborhood would take 5 megawatts.
Send the rest to battery storage.
I mean, my house peaks at like 7,000 watts.
Yeah.
So,
the backup generator we were quoted was 26 kilowatts.
That's too much.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's too much.
I'd rather have that than not enough.
That's true, but I was looking at the 24, and that's the reason why Tyler and I did the numbers, and we watched it one time, and I turned on the stove. I watched the air conditioners kick on and everything, and it peaked at 7,000. So a 14,000 should handle it just fine. Just fine. So,
and we're eventually going to go to tankless water heaters, which would propane.
Propane, yeah.
So they wouldn't use much electricity. And before they become illegal, I want to get a gas range.
They're not going to become illegal. Good Lord.
No, we're going to gas range, and that, that's only a 110 outlet to run that thing. So we'll
Democrats coming from a gas range.
We'll use a lot less anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But your propane bill will go up for sure.
Only if we're running the generator all the time. Like if we're not running hot water and we're not cooking on the stove.
That's true.
If we're not using it. I love that.
See, I looked into trying to do a tankless. Okay, I actually had them come out many years ago about doing a tankless hot water heater for this house. And of course, they were going to have to put in the tank, and I was actually going to have them run a line up on the deck so I could also do a gas grill.
Right.
And at the time, I couldn't afford it. It was going to be like $2,000, $2,500 for the whole shebang or whatever. So over the last couple of years, I started looking, okay, what are the electric alternatives? No. The first
time we asked someone about it, he's like, we don't even sell those anymore because they're crap.
Yeah.
They will not perform, and they just chew up electricity.
Well, the one I looked at required like 4 50-ounce breakers or some crap, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Then you need 5 megawatts.
I need this reactor.
You need a nuclear reactor, and then you're good.
I do. I need it.
Or you could just take a bath in the water that comes out of the cooler in the reactor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It wouldn't hurt a bit.
It wouldn't hurt at all. It's not tainted or anything.
Just let it run out in the gutter.
Let it run over into the pond next door.
It'll be bad for the septic tank, so just run it out in the street.
Yeah. Over into the pond, the fish don't have enough, fins or eyeballs right now.
To those who would believe that was a joke.
Or was it? Anyway.
This is how conspiracy theories get started.
Yeah, that's true. College students use Meta's smart glasses to dox people in real time. Now, you'll need to go watch the video on this one. It's actually pretty cool. But 2 Harvard students created a demo showing how Meta's Ray-Ban smart glasses paired with facial recognition software can be used to dox people in real time. The project, called iX-Ray, uses the glasses live streaming feature to identify faces, match them with public databases, and retrieve personal details like names, addresses, and phone numbers. The students, I'm not going to try to pronounce their names, demonstrated how they could identify classmates and even strike up conversations with strangers based on the retrieved information. And they do. In the video, they literally, they walk up to people and they're like, "Are you so-and-so? Do you work at such and such?" And the people are like,
yeah, and they're just seeing this real time right in front of their eyes.
yeah, exactly.
The face, and then bubbles pop up with information, I think.
It says iX-ray combines widely available technologies, including PIM Eyes, it's PIMEYES, a powerful facial recognition tool, to make this possible. The students' goal is to raise awareness of how easily current tech can invade privacy. While they don't plan to release the tool, their demo highlights the risk posed by the discrete design of smart glasses and their potential for misuse, aka how you can be a glass hole. Though Meta's Ray-Ban smart glasses feature a privacy light to signal when video is being recorded, it's often unnoticed in bright or crowded areas. Meta's policy advises users to respect privacy, but there's no guarantee people will follow these guidelines. The two students advise steps like opting out of public databases, but warn it's nearly impossible to erase one's online presence entirely. This article was at The Verge. Yeah. Have you ever Googled yourself?
Yeah. Well, years ago. I'm not that interested in myself anymore.
Well, me either, but from time to time, it's probably good practice just to make sure that there's no bullshit. There's no way I can wipe myself off the internet. And most everything about me is tied to the city of Tifton.
I would be curious to know how much about me they would find.
Yeah. It's scary, though.
Like, I want to know their data sources so I can dox myself and just find out. I mean, just how much private information is out there.
Yeah.
But I also would like to know where they got there. Because if all of their data is mainly from social media, they may not even find me.
That's true, because my personal profile, like on, say, Facebook, I only have 2 people I'm even friends with, and their family, my wife and Tyler. Mm-hmm. My daughter has no social media whatsoever. None.
I think that's good.
Yeah, no Twitter, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Threads, nothing. She's like, I'm not going to have it. And Tyler's on Twitter. He's on Facebook. I don't know about Instagram. But pretty much if you're on Instagram, you're on Threads, which honestly, Threads is a much, much better place, more level-headed place to be than Twitter.
Well, let's not go there. I managed to clean up my feed.
Did you?
Yeah. But crazy does, but I think that was in a comment on something. It was, that was nuts.
I named that episode after a statement that you said, "Cruising the Crazy." I was like, yes, that's got to be the title. Yeah. That's got to be the title. Yeah, this PIM Eyes, I'm not aware of. It says here it relies in part on PIM Eyes, which the New York Times described in 2022 as an, quote, alarmingly accurate, end quote, face search engine that anyone can use. Anyone
for money. Use. I bet it's for money.
It says concerns around this tech have been heightened since it came out that Clearview AI was using facial recognition to help law enforcement. So yeah, I don't know anything about this PIM Eyes. Let's see. Oh, create a free account. Thank you, New York Times. I do have a free account. Actually, no, I actually have a paid account, but I'm not logging in. Anyway, yeah, that's the very last thing it says in this article is, this is a sobering reminder of how smart glasses can be abused, but there are some steps people can take to protect themselves. Yeah, but trying to erase yourself and get yourself out of public databases, I mean, come on. That's not realistic. I mean, I know there's services out there like in Incogni and Twitter Delete and all kinds of crazy stuff that's supposed to, but really? Did you find out anything about PIM Eyes?
It's an online service. Face search engine reverse image search. So you upload a photo and find out where images are published. Or you can take a photo with your device's camera. Don't worry, we will not store it.
So what these guys are doing,
doubt that.
Yeah, what these guys are doing are using the Ray-Bans to take snapshots of the person's face and submitting it to
software that they've written.
Yeah,
takes it and then. So I don't know if there's a paid tier, because I'm sure if you do multiple calls in a day like the glasses would, I'm sure you've got to have some sort of paid agreement.
Yeah, you wouldn't think they'd do it for free. Not at all.
It might not cost you money, but it'll cost you your privacy.
Yeah, no thanks. I swear, the older I have gotten, the less I'm inclined. I mean, that's like as much as we talk about artificial intelligence, things like ChatGPT and OpenAI's and everything that they're doing and the stuff that you want to do and all. I'm still very hesitant on have we opened up Pandora's box. So, 10 years ago, I'd have been like, woohoo, let's bring out the streamers, let's party, toss a few back. But now I'm like, I'm not so sure about this.
Yeah, I hear everything else, all the different things that I never thought I'd hear, never imagined we would ever need coming up because this AI companies are just sprouting now. And I think it's good, but also it makes me incredibly tired. I just want to go take a nap and then get up and eat dinner and go to bed and then get up and start a lawn mowing company. And work for cash.
Yeah, it's I'm about there. I'm like, what other vocation can I learn that I can actually make a livelihood that's not tech related? This podcasting thing ain't doing it, I can tell you that. I'm just doing it for funsies. We are too old for that shit, but I keep saying this buildsubmarines.com. Like you can just go get a job as a welder, and of course you probably have to work in Virginia or somewhere. Yeah, that's true. My luck, I'd have to work underwater somewhere in the deep sea.
If you don't get certified, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so don't do that. Don't get certified.
No, don't get certified to do underwater.
Yeah. Next thing I know, I'll be on an episode of Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe.
But who knows? I mean, if you're like the longshoreman, you can crack out $300,000 a year.
I did not realize until I was listening to a podcast today how much they make.
It's incredible. It's
like, holy crap. And the dude that's like in charge of it, he's like rich. He drives a Bentley.
Yeah.
There's a conspiracy theory that he's pro-Trump. And did he decide to do this? Because the things that they're bitching about has been something that things they've been bitching about for years. Did he decide to pull this stunt now to make it where it would hurt the Democrats? And I'm like, I don't know.
If you pretend to be blue collar and you drive a Bentley and you at one time had a 76-foot yacht or 36, anyway, a yacht, you likely live in a big. You're a Trump fan.
Yeah,
you're going to vote for Trump.
Yeah. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I can guarantee you that if I win the lottery, $150 million and however much of that I wind up with, I still won't vote for Trump, but I'll be rich.
If I were to win the lottery, I wouldn't vote.
That's true. I just quit. I'm not voting for anybody. I check out.
You'd find me in New Zealand.
Yeah. Can we go find the Hobbit, the Hobbit holes? We'll just move in there.
I don't have to look. I just have to get out of here.
Yeah.
Because this bullshit. I want to move to a country that's the size of the state I currently live in.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I kind of
Iceland.
Like
they seem like fun people.
Wait a minute. Maybe I shouldn't move to Oregon. I'll just move to New Zealand.
Just immigrate. Get out.
Yeah. I might have some useful skills that they could still use, as I get older.
It's a free country and we are free to leave.
Yeah. That is true.
Just to turn everything off, disappear. That's what I want to do sometimes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last episode of the South Geek News Podcast.
Well, you got to play to win.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so the last two articles are dealing with your favorite truck and mine, Cybertruck.
Oh, it's the pinnacle of engineering and manufacture.
Of course, because Tesla recalls over 27,000 Cybertrucks over rear view camera issue. It's federal regulators found that the backup camera in some vehicles failed to display within the required 2 seconds after shifting into reverse, increasing the risk of collisions. The recall affects Cybertrucks produced between November 2023 and September 2024. Tesla has addressed the problem with an over-the-air software update. This is the fifth recall for the Cybertruck since deliveries began, and Tesla shares fell 2.3% following the news, continuing a decline after disappointing third quarter deliveries. So here's what I find interesting. The mere fact that you have to have, I remember a time where a rear view camera was a luxury.
Yeah.
Based on the way the damn Cybertruck is designed, I think it's a necessity. You can't see out of the back of it.
Yeah. Unless you open
that thing.
The vault door. Yeah. And you peer out this tiny back window. I don't know what you can see. You're going to use the camera.
Yeah. That's wild. That is wild. Because then on top of that, now this one to me is even more interesting. It's one thing when you have insurance companies that are refusing to insure homes, like in Florida.
Right.
They're like, we're getting wrecked.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, there's a good reason. Then Geico comes along and says, you know what? We're not going to cover Cybertrucks.
Right.
They've decided to terminate insurance coverage for Tesla Cybertrucks, stating that the vehicle does not meet its underwriting guidelines. This move affects only the Cybertrucks on multi-vehicle policies, not other vehicles the customer may have. The decision may be influenced by concerns about the Cybertruck's high repair costs, frequent technical issues, durability and accidents, and potentially its construction material, which can pose risk to other road users. There's also speculation that the strained relationship between Elon Musk and Warren Buffett, whose company owns Geico, may play a role.
Now, I doubt that.
Did you put that note in there?
Yeah.
Article at Jalopnik says this is being seen more in New York than other places. Not too many reports otherwise, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because if you bump into the wrong thing, you might not can total it, but repair costs could be half what you paid. Because of how it's built, it's stamped structural. It's not like a body on frame.
Mm-hmm.
And the battery is part of the vehicle structure. I mean, if you rupture the battery pack, who knows what that would cost? And to repair the body, I mean, it's made out of cold rolled stainless steel.
Mm-hmm.
It stops bullets.
Supposedly,
not all. No, it's some, not all. Like it would stop by 9mm,
mm-hmm.
but if you fire an M16 round, it ain't stopping that. But
armor piercing, anything like that?
Sure, yes, that would go right through.
Yeah,
like a hunting rifle would pierce it,
mm-hmm.
but small arms with pistol.
And as he pointed out, the glass is not unbreakable either.
No, it's still tough.
Yeah, it's tough and it's ugly. I hate the design. It's horrible.
Oh, I finally saw one up close. I didn't go and gawk at it, but I finally saw one. It was parked, in the
mm-hmm.
space next to mine in the grocery store, and it was nighttime. And I just looked and I thought, yeah, I think that was early Foundation Edition. So that was $122,000.
Mm-hmm. You know what it reminds me of? Have you ever seen the movie Damnation Alley with George Papard?
No.
So it's a post-apocalyptic movie where basically nuclear war, there's irradiated cockroaches and all kind of crazy crap like that. They've got to get through what they're calling Damnation Alley, and I'm a little vague on the details, but I do remember that this stretch of road that they've got to get through to get from point A to point B, there's a reason it's called Damnation Alley. The vehicles that they are in are armored up almost like B.A. Baracus, A-Team type stuff.
Yeah.
That's what the Cybertruck reminds me of.
I wish it was what
he promised it
to be when I made my reservation, which is the day after the announcement.
Yeah.
I knew the price would not be,
because at that time it was supposed to be what, 65 or something?
It started at $39 for the single motor 2-wheel drive, and then $59 for the all-wheel drive,
mm-hmm.
and then $69, $70,000 for the tri-motor all-wheel drive. They're only making the tri-motor, the Cyber Beast, and the dual motor all-wheel drive. So the dual motor all-wheel drive is $79,990, and the Cyber Beast, the tri-motor, the one I have a reservation for, is $93,000. and it's not enough truck.
Mm-mm.
There's not enough range in it.
No, that diesel you got sitting out there, the GMC, I think is better value.
It has more ground clearance.
True.
It weighs enough, but not as much as Cybertruck.
Yeah, but I don't need my truck to be a tank.
We want it to stick to the road.
Yeah, but I also want it to be able to get out of the mud, which they can't.
Yeah, I'm sure that the all-wheel drive systems are improving with software.
Mm.
You know, it's like Microsoft. Just ship it. We'll fix it later, right? We'll patch it later.
We'll fix it in post.
But that's
this podcast.
like the people who I hope most people are comfortable with what they've done, what they've bought. But I've seen good quality 4K videos on YouTube of reviews, and you look at how the body panels misalign. You can hear just the clicks and the motors as when they fold the mirrors, or the window motor apparently is of the quietest. But it just sounds and feels cheap.
Yeah.
And some parts of the Model 3 were that way when I drove it. But
yeah, MKBHD has another channel called Autofocus where he does a lot of reviews on various EVs. And I think even before he got his, because he does have a Cybertruck, he had one loaned to him that he did a review on.
I think I saw that.
And even part of the door did not want to work right in the review unit.
Yeah.
And I was like...
And the finish is just bad. Not like the appearance, but the sharp edges on the doors.
Yeah.
There's still burrs. There's machine marks. It's
I mean, it literally...
It's not a luxury. I would pay $50,000 for one.
I won't pay $5 for one. No, I mean, it literally looks like something that B.A. Baracus made on an episode of the A-Team.
But, and when I watch reviews, I realize how that yoke must feel, the steer-by-wire, to be physically driving down the road with a video game controller, essentially. That freaks me. Yeah. I know there are redundancies. I know an Airbus 380 is fly-by-wire. but I don't know. And the speed at which it was developed and pushed to market.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very, very slow. But once they finalized the design, got the factory going, they were just pushed out. Who missed QA on some of that shit?
The only two products that I think that any of Elon Musk's companies have actually produced that are good quality is SpaceX rockets and Starlink.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't care. I don't like
I'm guessing it's because he might not have been there so much for those.
Maybe.
I think he was more involved with Tesla than SpaceX.
Yeah, and he didn't even start Tesla. He bought it. He
bought into it.
He bought into it and took control of it. But yeah,
he made it what it is today.
That's not a positive thing.
It could have ended up like Fisker.
Well, that's true. That's fair.
Yeah, but
damn it, MKBHD, why'd you have to kill Fisker? No, I'm kidding.
Elon Musk has a strange habit of forcing things into existence and to success. He with the exception of recent things, he doesn't really have terrible ideas. They're just gargantuan. I mean, can you imagine? I want to start a company drilling tunnels under cities so we can build roads in there.
I mean, that's a great concept.
You think that shit up at a night out with the boys, they'll just say, dude, you're nuts, man.
Yeah.
And then, 2 weeks later, he's
digging tunnels.
He's got a boring machine. Yeah.
Now, it went nowhere, but
it's not over.
As far as I heard, the project was basically dead.
No, they're still digging. I'm sure some projects are halted, but he's still...
Okay, because I haven't heard anything else about it in several years.
No, I've heard they finished... They completed so much distance, or I just read it a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the boring company still...
I do like the concept.
Now, Neuralink's a different story.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's a grand idea, but
I would if it weren't him.
But if I don't mind that it's him. He needs to stay out of politics. He needs to just stay.
You're right.
In tech. He shouldn't have bought Twitter.
No.
But, I mean, I don't know what Twitter was becoming when he bought it. And I think we're really getting off on a tangent here. But Elon has extremely good ideas. And I've just read an article that highlighted the inefficiencies of NASA. One of the booster rockets for the shuttle cost $20 million. And it's one-time use.
Yeah.
It's a firecracker.
Yeah.
Whereas the Dragon engine, reusable, costs about $1 million. They launch an entire capsule for about $20 million.
For what that actual booster
for
cost.
One of the shuttle boosters, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, but that's also...
he went to Russia. Elon went to Russia and said, I want to buy a couple of ballistic missiles. He wanted the propulsion systems that he wanted to build rockets. And, of course, they knew who he was. He just sold his part of PayPal. And they were like, oh, we're going to get this guy. And so they just, grossly overpriced the thing. He's like, nah. So on the plane back from Russia, the people he went with looked back at him, and he's like, just going away at an Excel spreadsheet. And they're like, what's this nerd doing? And at the end of the flight, he goes, I think we'll just do this ourselves. And that was the beginning of SpaceX.
Wow. See, I've never heard that story.
I read one of his biographies.
Oh, okay.
Not the latest one, but the one that Ashley Vance wrote.
I really admired him in the early years because, a lot of people was calling him our real life Tony Stark. And then he got into politics.
Yeah. I don't know what is.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah. He had some bad acid.
It's that damn ketamine. Which, ketamine therapy is actually a bona fide good thing.
Psychedelics, if used properly,
Kevin Rose
is therapeutic.
Kevin Rose is a big proponent of it. He's talked about it multiple times. I think he's got a video of him going through it. But anyway, well, that's the end of the show.
I will say, if Elon Musk wanted to make a Tony Stark suit that worked,
yeah,
I would bet towards him getting extremely close.
and then you would sign,
except for the power source, because that's kind of bullshit.
But yeah, and then you'd sign up for one.
I would reserve one, for $5,000, and then it would cost $30,000.
Yeah,
and I'd go, nah, but keep my $100. That'd be my donation.
Yeah, my donation. All right, well, that's going to wrap up the show. I hope all of these topics were entertaining and our take on it. I would like to point out that some of the stuff that's in this episode I do pull out and I throw it into bonus episodes that I call SGN.
Ooh, you going to put it behind a paywall?
Yeah, I do. I do. It's but it's early access. So it's $4 a month and you get it 7 days early. So once I publish it for 7 days, if you're a member, you automatically get it. 7 days later, it goes into the main feed. Now, this $4 a month will also include, if there's bonus content that we do that's not early access, it'll just be like for members. And I did a small episode that I released into the feed talking about this. I realize this is our third episode. So I'm over here going, give me money. I get it. But I'm going ahead and just setting it all up, getting the infrastructure, because Captivate does a pretty good thing of having their own built-in Patreon-like scenario. So I figured, what the hell? I'll go ahead and do it. There's also a tip jar over there. So if you go to southgeeknews.com/support, you can either tip, enough money for me to get a coffee, you to get a beer, and or you can, for $4 a month, be a member and get this other stuff. So comments, questions, you can email podcast@southgeeknews.com. If you'd like to call and leave a voicemail or send a text about this episode or any other episode, if you got ideas, you like the show, you hate the show, whatever, the number is 229-234-1307. That's 229-234-1307. So that's it. We'll be back. The next episode will be whenever. 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from whenever you saw
that
this was
a
published.
Calendar. I don't have a calendar. Oh, well, whatever.
I only have a camera and a video
You have a phone.
machine. But today's the
Today's the 9th.
23rd.
Okay, that's right. So the next one will be recorded on 23rd. It takes me almost half a day to actually do these, and I've got a job to do. And tomorrow, you see that Mesh 6 right there. I've got to go deploy it into an office to extend their Wi-Fi. So I'll do my best to get it out by Friday.
I mean, you could always use an AI.
Anyway, that's it. Everybody take care. Bye. This has been a production of Tifton Media Works. Check out all our podcasts by visiting tiftonmediaworks.com.